motor. The shots. What are we talking about? So many of my colleagues, they have gone. I know what. I have been on exile for 5 years. I know what I have gone through. And the man, born of a human, is thinking that he loves Mazi Nnamdi Kanu more than Biafrans. When you think that you love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu more than all the Biafrans, the leadership of IPOB, you are the enemy. You are the real enemy. You are the real enemy. Bikonu, osisi, as table on a instruction, command. Table on a if we are relaxing, waiting for Onyendu to come out or to ascend in a seconolia, because everything is coming out clear. Everything is crystal clear now. Or just ascending in a juena saisi. Anya relax is ya. When a chair. These same people who are coming up to this radio Biafra tonight to ask these silly questions after Kafajejolo, these were the same people who fought so hard to disassociate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from IPOB and her leadership. These were the people who said that they have destroyed the IPOB leadership, that no, nobody should listen to them. Now they are the people turning back to say that the leadership has left Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. One day we will still hear it on this radio, that on social media, that it is the leadership that made the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to choose Aloye Jimako and disassociate himself from San Ozokome and the Ejofo. We will still see it on social media. The people who aided Ekperima, these same people, I knew what they said about ESN, but I was a witness. Why? Because I was a part to everything that happened in this struggle. I didn't see from social media. No. All the meetings held, what each and everyone said, I can give accounts. I didn't see from social media. And the concerned people listening, they know. Somebody is telling me that the money that I have been contributing in IPOB, even till date, last Sunday I got a meeting, that I will not know about it. Look at the insecurity in Alibo today. And somebody is asking, onye do say Adam Bona to finance. Onyo osinimi etinyenni. It's not that they don't know, but just that they have chosen to feign ignorance. And we're on your fuchon juba kedebo silini. Biko anabaka ligoji. Anabaka funwate zenono. Our students, that they said whatever they like. I knew how this leadership went miles to make sure that our students were sustained, and they are still sustaining them. And somebody is telling you that people who are leading a movement that is not just a group, because when you say that IPOB is a group, you are undermining this movement. IPOB is a great movement and the largest movement for that. Where was your raise? They cannot stop this struggle. If for this struggle that has been at my back, it has been at the back of my heart, that one day I will fight for the freedom of my people since I was a child. And for all these years that we have sacrificed, people no closer to me know what I personally have lost in this struggle, including human beings. Somebody, I got soil like after soiling your hand. I thank God for these men of integrity. I thank God for these men of humility. they have the humanity. I never forgot the day Mazi Chinasa Nworu said that I come with clean hands. And those who are closer to these men know that indeed these men came with clean hands. It is only a madman that after completing a house, we only set it on fire. In our kilikili, because that's the final stage, Hannah, now. Because they have done everything. Ekperima cannot destroy IPOB. Autopilot cannot destroy IPOB. I mean, all they have done. Now, if I have a book, for 4 years to the 5th year. This is the 5th year. Can one can on Afia Nambo? A sị na ọ na-abụ nwaanyị nụsị nwoke nụsị ọgụ nwaanyị enwela akụkọ, but today ọzi nwoke ji nwaanyị nọdolo okwu wee nọrọ n'ama wee na-agba akwụ na-agba egwusi, ignoring all the insecurity happening in Biafra land, not minding children, because Mr. and Mrs. Ifede Omofa, is somebody not thinking about the children of these women? One day, I'm a phone on Nagatu. The only me I don't. Only none of I'm with hope safe. You never think of men that you knew, whom their blood have dropped. You were trying to I pop gabo myself. You are just, I mean, you are a mere joke. You've not started. You have not started.
Well, please round
I
up.
want to
I know
about
you.
this
Please
leadership.
round up.
It is high time we ignore all these miscreants, unscrupulous elements who want us to abagidashari. I distract. We refuse to be distracted. We are standing strong. We are standing stronger. Mazi Chika Edoziem, if you are listening and hearing my voice, I plead with you. Do not resign. If you resign, you have rejected us. Mazi Chinasa Nworu, obi ga-ada na mba, mmụọ ga-ada na mba. Akwa ifuru eze nchifotu, anyị ma ya ejikwa ya na-ata nri. Biafra, it must come no matter what it will take us. If people of Catalonia can still be there doing it, mụnwa ga-emegide ya unless ma mgbe m ji wee nwa. If I die, my children will continue. But ehuna Biafra, it must come. Mazi Jonathan, isi ike n'ọlụ. Ndewo.
Dodrege, very inspirational. Caller on, I have 2 callers that have been waiting. Please, I want you people to just make it as brief to 2 minutes. We are going to 7 hours, please. Caller on WhatsApp, please go on. Can you hear me, please? Go on. Caller on WhatsApp, please go on. Don't waste time. Caller on WhatsApp.
Mazi Chinedu, thank you. Mazi Chinasa Nworu, thank you so much. Because Jido Bigaka Jishie, I know you were choking and fighting back tears because of the ignominy that somebody get in that was on the Biafra. We are not cheap. We're going to name on the man behind it. So Amarom, and I believe this presumption that now the relationship between BOS, now the supreme leader, that he's only executioner, is the executive of decision of the BOS. If my understanding is not proper, please, Biafrans. If it's something you cannot answer here, you guys can consult among yourself and come and tell us. Because these sycophants, how they're just the eye service na sycophants na traitors. They don't mean well for our leader. They're acting like they love him. They're trying to make him he's not a god. When Nnamdi Kanu so you on can disobey. He's not God. He hasn't claimed to. And no God. I have a God in there for Allah. That's my own God. The ideology. We're not trying to build a strong man or an autocrat or an emperor. We're trying to build an institution, and we are all subservient to that ideology, which is Biafra ideology and Biafra freedom. We're not here to serve anybody. We don't have any sacred cows. That is my understanding. Nnamdi Kanu is not a sacred cow that he disobey. And therefore, the association, I would suggest that DOS or should stop listening to any message from Nnamdi Kanu coming to his brothers, because message not being traitors that they are, we cannot trust those messages. And my next one is this. And then, oh, our leader, supreme leader, disobey our leader, you obey our leader, as if to say they care. These are traitors. Has what the siblings done to this struggle, has it not amounted to treachery? In my opinion, it has amounted to treachery, and DOS should tell us if they are traitors as they should be categorized. Unu ga-asọ Nnamdi Kanu anya hapụ ime ha ihe a na-eme traitors. Anyị ga-asọ ha anya. My second question, which I say you don't have to answer, open all the too sensitive, unu zuko among DOS, unu abịa gwa anyị. Assuming that na here unu opportunity now to get us our freedom, whether or Nnamdi Kanu, because it's difficult for him to be contacted ever. So open anyị opening now and unu the retake action. Unu ga-echewe godu ka gwa Nnamdi Kanu no as supreme leader. Because so as the Chineke, some people are trying to make him, he has to put his stamp on it before the whole Biafran school n'azụ. We are not disregarding our leader. He's giving it all. He sacrificed everything. He sacrificed his parents, but unfortunately, he may be sacrificing his siblings too, because his siblings are now traitors. So as in our two heads is better than one, and DOS is way more than two heads. So that could be instances where DOS is authorized to disobey the supreme leader. Leader Kobo. Obu an autocrat. Obu Chukwu. Obu Chukwu Kabiama. He's not Ani. He's not only and all, and he's only one person in there. And these people trying to make him a Chineke don't even care about him. They don't even care about the struggle. They want all of us destroyed. So because Mazi Chinasa Nworu, unu anzuku unu, zuonu, biko kunu bia koran, we want to know the relationship between DOS and the supreme leader. Isn't he supposed to be, or not make or just man? Are we under a dictatorship? Okay, say, oh, you disobey our leader. You disobey our leader. So a leader say, Chair of you don't have to answer now. Thank you very much. And every one of you who's been blackmailed in this struggle. Before you make any wrong decision, Cheta, those hundreds of people no bibo. Think about them. You're not doing this for them, they can't, you're doing it for them.
Thank you. Caller on, I'm no more taking no call. This is the last caller. Caller on signal, please. Go on. Can you hear me? Call on signal. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Caller on signal. Mazi Obasiejike, can you hear me, please? Why? You have been waiting for a long time. Caller on signal. Please go on. Can you hear me? Mazi, I'm not hearing you. Let your waiting not be in vain, please. Can you? Go on, go on. I don't understand. Caller on signal Mazi Obasi GK. For the last time, can you hear me? No, it's a pity. Let me just pick this call. Caller on WhatsApp. What is here? Caller on WhatsApp, please go on. You have 2 minutes, please, to make your point. 2 minutes. Caller on WhatsApp, please go on. Caller on WhatsApp. There, woman, also you have 2 minutes.
Mazi John Cruz dị ukwu. Anọ m esi m Canada na-akpọ.
There,
ihe m ji use aha maka ndị mma m na anọ m na PDP family Canada, anọ m na Edmonton. Anọchi m since na-ege idile Mazi Chinasa Nworu. First of all, achọrọ m eze one came book with the first person because I got up na Facebook na short some ndị beribe ha na comment si na Mazi Chinasa Nworu no na ndị ara chọm ịkpọ onye ọbụla ha na this because here we sacred platform. Barrister Loye Jimako is an evil man. So no na juna say gbasara na de onwe ihe okwu maka Loye Jimako. Aloye Jimako is not working for IPOB. And into the make Biafrans lile nebile hano mana kuna. Dandile Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Buruburu. They are evil people and they have been feeding him with the wrong information. Like one issue bit wrong because I've been trying to tell only that doubt him Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because always some narrative footer few days ago. Ndimanashi whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I know him. He's a man of wisdom. He can't just come in. Unless maybe which area. Yeah, puta. The first thing I get know, he be to cover scatter the whole thing. Emreleme. Only him cheregwa the leadership. Chineke goes the leadership. Achom can the leadership. Mazi Chinasa Nworu ebe na mama na inege him neko. Oh no, with the backbone of this movement. And that is why all of us that are hardcore, Asian Biafran and Canada, Mazan Azaiba Monyanwo, Midi Kure, yes to me bone program, Aprom Nakole. Asian Biafran and Anum Biafran have lost a lot of people. Right now, working here. Only our sister, that man now, Mary Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Akupa Hone use with the sure who you. Egwuriela maka this Biafra struggle. Nwunye ya nwụrụ our coordinator nọ na Umule zone. Ọ ma ihe m na-ekwu. Ọ na ọ na-ege ntị Radio Biafra. Ọ ga-ama ọma onye na-ekwu okwu a na. This nwunye ya nwụrụ la January ha nwa ndị Ihiala. Ụmụ ya mụnwa na enyi nwoke bi Switzerland we have been taking care. In fact, enyi nwoke right now the girl na amụ ahịa akwa through our coordinator nọ na Canada Edmonton. Ọnwụ ya nwaanyị ka ọ nọ na nwunye nwaanyị na amụsị dakela ọrụ anyị nwa na ụgwọ ụlọ ya we are paying it and we have been taking care of her. Anyamụonye all Biafra na-ejikọta ihe ji na-arụtụ ihe ndị aka na because onwere a lot of people sacrificing and we are still sacrificing. Ihe ọbụla mere this leadership mere discata onwe ihe Mazi Jonathan ị na-ekwu na redio. He said that we can we are not going anywhere. We will continue with this thing. So now Mazi Chinasa Nworu like the whole leadership he remain focused. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that let our eyes be on the ball. And the last broadcast Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before this thing, once you go and again who the real freedom fighting, that he's fighting from the front. So him bikono unu jisi ike. Onye ahụ kpọrọ CLC from Canada, the first caller kpọrọ onye ahụ onye iberibe ọ maghị ihe. Those things all kwesịrị na-agwa Mazi Chinasa Nworu na he mere disobey. What can he with the disobedience? Amụnwe ihe m chọrọ ka Biafrans niile mana ebe a Mazi Nnamdi Kanu nọ, ndị niile gbara gburugburu ya wụ ndị DSS, they want to get information from IPOB. So all the whole info, the plan to move this Biafran struggle forward. I know that the leadership will not be giving it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu until he's come, because he's in the enemy's camp. Only they can buy do brand a film. Maybe the enemy say there's somebody. Maybe they actually get a school here. Only so many things happen just to compare. Can we get so when back in wow, 80 when you actually the school came with the app or say how I said lay down your arms. Maybe yeah, chocolate his arms. Whatever. Just to rescue the person. The enemy's camp. I know that the leadership are fighting to them to see how they can rescue him from the enemy's camp. Him jina agunu ya bikunu una dalamba uno jisike chineke gabuno me. Every day I know ba my hobla name we will continue. This new narrative here what Rubana Abola I told me how much na this radio because nobody is fighting the position of Amazon, but they are started writing now. Now I say now what now the cannot put a hala or when you believe the other say no na because the leadership is the backbone of this movement. Whatever that happens to this leadership, we are going to square one. And that's not what the leadership become. You people should know relent. The time of Omunyo, huh? Now I joined IPOB since 2012. And since that time, I've been remaining faithful, and I've been fighting wars both in Biafra land before my happen Biafra land now and my social media. We have been there defending this struggle with our life. In my office, everyone before my happen. The boy know with me. Now this struggle. I got my hand down in the massive. We are not going nowhere. I don't want to say things lose based on this thing, but let us go because nothing came on or how I made the ultimate prize. Because mass and mass you see oh tako ham no jisinika chukuna chuku kikabama gani una bunime anana mass na kana ga pata Mazi, okay, ule alo itima copy na be on sin hand. Ejo Mazi barrister Ejo Fogara. Now bambu, there's no court case made involved. The IPOB members, barrister Ejo Fogara send them mad. He will always go there himself. I have never seen anything. I don't. Somebody there and okay, the relationship alo itima with only look at what is the whole people, the whole division calling with that. Can do IPOB Ontario Community Limited Corporation. I go allow it, in fact, can I help you? Una sunu jisike. Una dalambaka chuko kiaba makozu.
And this is where I will switch off the phones. Mazi Chinasa, before you come in, let me just say something before you come in. To make your pattern short. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, let me reiterate. When you say or somebody come and say no, right here, instead let us leave everything. I totally disagree. We go nowhere. We go. Yeah, this is not something of annoyance. I because this is something that all of us have stake. And let me tell you something. I've been saying it on my programs. The rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not something very, very simple. It was calculated, planned. Nigerian government has been spending a lot of money, billions of dollars, to destroy IPOB. And they got all of a sudden they kidnapped our leader. is in their hand. And people think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will just be discharged like that out of the way what their sentiments tell them is they now construct it as reality. Come on. Sometimes don't send the boy Maziko himself. What they have been spending a lot, billions, giving contracts. Now the leader of this formidable group is in their hand. And you think that it will be easy like that? Okay, we will leave you like that. They didn't kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya because they know that if they kill him, the formidability of IPOB, the consequences will be so dire. And IPOB, it will mobilize IPOB more and more. So now they held him in order to their target. The target of Nigeria is IPOB, to destroy IPOB. See, our people should understand that. When people use just sentiment or to deceive people, oh, he's coming out on the 18th, he's coming out on. All of us want him to come out now. But I put it on my timeline, Facebook timeline, that look, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he did nothing wrong. It's a political problem. It is our continuous agitation and formidability that will release him. It's not what they are doing in the court. No, that thing is nothing. And what are y'all? It's just mere formality. Say, let them say that, oh, it's a country, is going on court, this and that. Either they keep him, why do they keep him not in prison? Where he will have access, not beyond that control like that. Do you know what is DSS? Equivalent of FBI. Where the shirt he put on body, he hears. He speaks. I mean, he hears, he sees. Everywhere is bugged. It's a reason for that. That's why we prick the mindset of our people to understand. The DSS wants to understand how IPOB is run so that they will compromise and destroy it. That is the only thing. And maybe after now, they will say, okay, you can go. After destroying, causing confusion and destroying IPOB. But our people don't understand. Some of our people. That is where it pains me. So I will stop here. I will continue making program talking to our people as usual. Mazi Chinasa, please go on and towards your closing remark. Ndewo.
Ndewo Mazi Chinedu. Ndewo, thank you. This has been one of our longest program ever on Radio Biafra. Before we started this program, we were talking about in 2 hours, 2 hours 30 minutes. We will round up issues start coming up. Mazi, based on what you have just summarized now, as we come to the conclusion of this program, you know, what people don't understand that even if the DSS make availability, tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu he send message. Why the DSS kept Mazi Nnamdi Kanu where they kept him is because they need to monitor his communications. They need to monitor the messages he sends. And the more he's sending messages, those who are going for those messages are being compromised. And that is how it is. That is how his younger brother, Fine Boy, was compromised. That is how Aloye Jimako was compromised. I am saying it and I'm saying it, but nobody can convince me because there are certain things I know. There are certain things I have seen that happen. And I don't want to go on that side. We are IPO. We have sympathizers. Any move they make that is not in favor of this struggle, we are being tipped off. Because there are people who want this Biafran struggle. Who want this Biafra? The people want this Biafra struggle. Our people want freedom. Some of them are just scared to come out and talk openly because of their businesses, because of certain things. They are so scared. Not everybody will speak. There are people that will speak. What is keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu till date is the Southeast politicians and the Fulani hegemony. These two group of people, there is a collaboration between them. The Southeast politicians do not want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. Then the Fulani hegemony, they don't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. And because of this, they're putting up every tactics in their disposal, trying to destroy IPOB. And I say it, they say the fine boy is compromised with the Nigerian Intelligence Agency, with the NIA and the DSS. They know him. He is working for them. If he like, he can deny until all those things are proven otherwise. And all the purpose is to make sure if IPOB will be destroyed. He already soiled his hand in what is happening. He already soiled his hand, and they use it against him. Biafrans, there is a very important topic we're supposed to treat today, but there is no time. We can't treat it. It's because of our land, our youth, our women, our girls. We should all remember that every man's pride is how the women behave, how our little girls behave. It is the job of IPOB that we have to go back to create awareness and speak to our people, speak to our youth about dignity. The rate our young girls are being trafficked for prostitution beyond our borders is unimaginable. We have come to a point that when our girls are trafficked to African countries or other places, after paying off a huge sum of money, like in 2 years, pay 10 million, they will now throw a party. Because all the distance. Now our young girls, so they 14, 15 years, and I 20 years, 20 million, 10 million. Our small girls, they throw a party. This is mind blowing. And in the process, they may invite some Igbo elders, non-Ogoda, Igbo young men, Senabia, and Megane, as in Osa for Charlie Apuna. Young girls, we're talking about 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is not good. Of course, everything they will say hardship. I ask again, prostitution is also an old business. It's as old as human. But what we are saying is this. Our young girls of this age, it is time we work, all of us, to reduce. This is one of the things that destroy the Edo people. Until their people, cultism and the prostitution destroy the Edo people globally. Everywhere. It becomes a trademark with them. Until their traditional rulers have looked into this thing and they do certain things, even in cultism, all these things now has been transferred to our own people. We're going to set up a new program where we are going to start to tackle these issues. It is a menace in our society. Because when a girl of that particular age goes into this, we watch them, some of them coming to give testimony in Igbo land, in our land. Nobody expects you. No, I don't think there is anybody expects his sister to go and make money and bring for her. I don't think it is even normal. Nobody expects your younger sister, your senior sister. What everybody thinks is your sister to get married, or if he managed to support the family, fine and good. But I don't think there is a family that is saying, you at 14 years from secondary school, you have to go, you need to come and build a house in your father's compound. These things does not happen. And something is very going wrong in our society. IPOB is taking, if you don't know, we are the almighty IPOB. Millions of people are hoping on us. Millions of people are looking up to IPOB as we are pushing the agenda for development, return your business to Igbo land, to Biafra land, agriculture, bringing all our people from everywhere together. We need to look into this. And we are going to start a program where we don't mind even those people who are bringing them. We are everywhere. We can spot all of those people who are taking this, our girls, across the borders. This is a very big problem. If you can see, you see the number of HIVs being recorded in all our states. Could it be that our people, it has been designed to destroy our people? In River State, River State is a city of 2 million people, 6 million approximately, but almost 200 and something thousand people are HIV positive. This is alarming. Imo State, the population of Imo State is also not more than 5 million or 6 million. And there was a report. I am not the one giving the report. This report are coming from the Nigerian government. The statistics, over 70-something thousand people, girls, are living with HIV. Anambra, the same thing. Abia, the same thing. The lowest in the southeast is Ebonyi State. And I think Enugu. Then Akwa Ibom, it is on a very high rate. Akwa Ibom is also in 200 and something thousand. Benue State is the highest, and they are our border towns. This is an emergency. I mean, it deserves to be called beyond a state of emergency. Hotels are being built everywhere. People are being taught that instead to go and learn work, it is better to do hookup, prostitution, small girls. Okay, if you have grown up and you finish, you decided it is better. It is young girls of 14, 15, 16 years. We're going to come on air and we're going to sensitize our people on this particular issue. Again, let me reiterate on this platform, on Radio Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the supreme leader of this movement. His position as the leader of this movement is not contested by anybody, and that is the last thing we can even allow it to happen. Everybody, the way, if I say something, I have said it. He is the leader of this movement. All of us are working to bring glory to this movement. If we fail, he fell. We cannot be running a movement that every now and then, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets problem, the next agenda of the enemies is to be destroy all we have done, and they're hoping that when he comes out, we start afresh and rebuild. It doesn't work this way. Besides, most times that IPOB fought most of their brutal wars, confrontations, is always when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is inside in the head. He don't even witness it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2015, when he was arrested, kidnapped from Lagos, people fought, protest everywhere, fighting for his release. People died, many people missed till death. We fought and we stood behind him, irrespective of anything. Because now what it's not everything we must come on air to talk about. But you see how the enemies they work. Because I am coming on air, they position them. The same person that asked you, the first person that called for the question, he is the owner. He's the one that controls that IPUB association, community association. He is the one that controls that Facebook. He is the one Aloye Jimako. Yes. Chiweze, Akubeze, or what? He is the one that controls that IPOB account. And we are here with open mind to answer anybody. We have nothing. IPOB is not a secret cult. We don't hide anything. We keep things for tomorrow, so that if we are not there, somebody can tell the story. Because history is passed through orally or through written. Some people will put down whatever I have said today. If you ask them in the next 50 years, they will narrate it exactly what I have said here. And this record will remain. Therefore, I call every Biafra. Like all of you have said, none of us is backing down. Mazi Chinasa is not resigning. Anybody resign at this particular time is betrayal to millions of Biafrans. We must all continue, as like I said earlier, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu need our prayers. And I can tell you people, IPOB is the one that will set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. Not all these things these people are doing. It is IPOB. Go and mark it somewhere. Only IPOB, our continuous agitation, will lead to the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, unless there is any shortcut, which I don't think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will accept. Because one thing I know, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not betray the Biafran struggle. That is why whatever the leadership is doing, we do consider his present situation, where he is. And we do wish that certain things they need to ask. Questions need to be asked. What people have to know, a lawyer Jimako who feeds Mazi Nnamdi Kanu information does not communicate with IPOB members. The siblings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does not associate with IPOB members. The only people they communicate with is those people that were expelled from IPOB. They gathered all of them. And these are the people telling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the day-to-day activities of IPOB. Since rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I have not spoken to Nenayane. So how can we communicate? Apart from once, I think, in the DOS meeting. I spoke to Carlota in 2021. How do they know what IPOB is doing? Because they have made up their mind, as they are telling the whole people. They already pictured who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will kill, who he will destroy, who he will strip naked this as soon as he comes out. That is only what they want. That is all. They forgot that people have died. And even people that I thought they are made turn around. Anyhow, I am not surprised also, because at the beginning of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rendition, they display the same attitude. And repeating it again shows the kind of caliber of men they are. But we are here. We are here to make sure Biafra is being restored. We are here to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu regain his freedom. And I'm telling you people, we must be very, very active. Election is coming. And they have already started killing themselves. That's to show you what is happening. And that was the same thing that happened in 2001. When the rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the killing started. They imported killers into the state. Today, election is coming again in Anambra. They have started the assassination again. Is that telling you people something? Are we going to learn from what happened in 2001? The same from the same time the election was coming, 3 to 4 months to the election, that they brought Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's the same time the killing started in Anambra. It have started again. They kill themselves. They target on IPO. Soludo have went to America and Maryland to tell them the kidnapping and all these things to justify the people they are going to assassinate during this political period. So that anything that is happening, he will tell you, we told you it is our people. It is his men. It is his group of people they have gathered together. And all these things is to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains. And some people that are not seeing it, what they will do, as me and you, is telling Soludo that what he did is wrong. And I bet you, as all of you are attacking Soludo, telling him that what he done, so that he can make his corrections, somebody, somewhere, is talking to Soludo to overlook what these people are talking. That it is all about money. And then we collect money and come outside and be shouting rubbish. Somebody somewhere, they're already making their moves. Forget about what these people are talking. They will collect money. They make me and you look stupid. They make me and you look like, mugus. That has been the game. That is why you think we are going somewhere, we are going nowhere. Because people are no more taking you serious. They know that after backing on the social media, after expressing yourself, your anger, it's just a matter of calling one or two persons and they will strike a deal and tell them continue. That's what they will tell us. And that's what some of them have told us. Biafrans. I choro Biafra kanye choro, just every day we are making noise on social media. Is that what we want? What do we really want? What do we really want? We all came to restore Biafra. But a few people are taking it as entitlement. It is a source of income. It is a source of things. And let me make it very, very clear. Aloye Jimako, Aloye Jimako no this Biafra struggle, Nanjo. Everybody should know that. Aloye Jimako. Sometimes you people see him, he don't write too much, he will use another name and be writing. But one thing, when we see his write-off, we know. It's a contractor writing things. People, when he collects money from people, he asks them, I will write for you. That's why you see some press release, he will write for the Avid, write for advocacy in this thing. When he gather all of them together, he put press release for them to publish for them. Everybody understands the game of the enemy. If we want to restore Biafra, our demands must be, our words must be our wish. Our words must be our command. Whatever we say, this is what we want. We all agree unanimously. Even if there is anything to discuss, we will bring it to Biafran people. Because we have told you people a lot. If there is something we want to negotiate, we must come back to you people, explain it to you people, but not on the radio. That is why it's good you'll be in the IPOB family member. We will go there to communicate you. This is how we want to move. Now this is going to help us. That is how things are being done. Especially when you are dealing with the public. You can't just be somebody whom have something feel in his pocket. You come and no, say like this. Forget about these people. Forget about them. That is how Otokoto underrated Ikechukwu. The boy, when Otokoto was running in Imo State, until that small boy took his head. The inability not to consider the public, the outrage, inability not to put in consideration men who have put everything. See how everybody is talking this evening on Radio Biafra. They are sacrificed what they have given up. This is just few people. We are not talking about our people being killed. And why are we reacting? Why are we talking these things? Because if you allow people to carry out these wrong narratives, people will lose their life. Remember, people will lose their life. Remember, there are things, if you don't correct them, it's just a matter of time. People start to believe it, that it is true. Because now, but I have told them on many occasions, there are stages in everything in life, in the struggle, in everything. This is not the time for black men. This is not the time to lie against somebody because of your stomach. This is not the time to lie against this movement. Remember the dead. Remember those in prison. Remember there are thousands of our people missing. Most of you don't know. There are people, they go to Abuja, we don't see them again. There are people that have missed, even in your city. To you, you think he traveled or he relocated to another state. But you don't know they have kidnapped him. Because on many occasions you ask people about somebody, he told you, I have not seen him for a very long time. I don't know, maybe he left the city. He left, or maybe, I don't know, he returned to the village. If he returned to the village, he don't have telephone number. They tell you nobody hears from them. You don't know whether he's alive. You don't know whether he has been kidnapped, because that is what the Nigerian government has been doing. That is what Nigerian government have been doing. And I will stop here. Aseko 4G4, Ufalafo. Biafrans, once again, my name is Mazi Chinasa Nworu. Mazi Chinasa Nworu served the indigenous people of Biafra as a member of the Directorate of State. Kachifo no Muchineke.
The woman say thank you very much. And today, as I said, is the mother of all broadcasts, honestly, because sometimes it is good to raise, allow people like this in order to bring up issues. That is it. So that explanations could be made for people listening to understand more in-depth analysis. I've said it, the highest, can I call it mistake? Mazi Nnamdi made is to bring Biafrans from all over the world, everywhere together, as one family. Hey, both good, bad, evil, ndị oshi, ndị ama, intellectuals, PhD holders, all professions. Ndị ọjọọ ma ndị ọma. And we think, some of us think that we'll be manipulated like what was up. It's a miscalculation. But if we fail this time, which will never happen, one other Jovita say, come on, omegide destiny continue. That is the spirit. And that is why Biafra must come. Because Biafra remains our religion and Biafra is our ideology. We must continue until Biafra is restored. No going back because there is no back to go. No throwing down our thing because of anger, using anger. I got born instead of itufia. That has been my mantra. Thank you for listening. And from me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, together with Mazi Chinasa Nworu, it is simply good evening.
IPOB. One family. IPOB. Forward ever. Brethren, it is that time. All members of IPOB family in Italy are requested to gather in Ferrara for the IPOB Italy first get-together venue. Via Mario, Palledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Chief host, Mazi Oda, Keke Ugo, IPOB Italian National Coordinator. Special guest, Mazi Anthony Nzerumike, IPOB Deputy Head of Directorate. Mazi Isaiah Uba, IPOB Deputy European Rep, and other dignitaries. Father of the Day, Mazi Austin Abayem, IPOB European Representative. Mother of the Day, the one and only Lolo Uchechi Okukano, wife to the leader of IPOB. Make sure you be present there on time. Come with every of your questions and get this invitation to all IPOB families in Europe. The venue again, Via Mario, Palledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Please, let's all be time conscious as the get-together has been packaged accordingly. For more clarification, please contact +3935 10044121 and 3935 12087422. It's going to be an all-family affair as it was in the beginning. How sweet it is for families to dwell together in one accord. Don't miss it. Powered by IPOB DOS. IPOB. One family. All hail Biafra. IPOB. One family. IPOB. Forward ever. Brethren, it is that time. All members of IPOB family in Italy are requested to gather in Ferrara for the IPOB Italy first get-together venue. Via Mario, Palledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Chief host, Mazi Oda, Keke Ugo, IPOB Italian National Coordinator. Special guest, Mazi Anthony Nzerumike, IPOB Deputy Head of Directorate. Mazi Isaiah Uba, IPOB Deputy European Rep, and other dignitaries. Father of the Day, Mazi Austin Abayem, IPOB European Representative. Mother of the Day, the one and only Lolo Uchechi Okukano, wife to the leader of IPOB. Make sure you be present there on time. Come with every of your questions and get this invitation to all IPOB families in Europe. The venue again, Via Mario, Palledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Please, let's all be time conscious as the get-together has been packaged accordingly. For more clarification, please contact +3935 10044121 and 3935 12087422. It's going to be an all-family affair as it was in the beginning. How sweet it is for families to dwell together in one accord. Don't miss it. Powered by IPOB DOS. IPOB. One family. All hail Biafra. IPOB. One family. IPOB. Forward ever. Brethren, it is that time. All members of IPOB family in Italy are requested to gather in Ferrara for the IPOB Italy first get-together venue. Via Mario, Palledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time 12 noon prompt. Chief host Mazi Oda Keke Ugo, IPOB Italian National Coordinator. Special guest Mazi Anthony Nzerumike, IPOB Deputy Head of Directorate. Mazi Isaiah Uba, IPOB Deputy European Rep, and other dignitaries. Father of the Day Mazi Austin Abayim, IPOB European Representative. Mother of the Day, the one and only Lolo Uchechi Kanu, wife to the leader of IPOB. Make sure you be present there on time. Come with every of your questions and get this invitation to all IPOB families in Europe. The venue again, Via Mario, Paledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Please, let's all be time conscious as the get-together has been packaged accordingly. For more clarification, please contact +3935 1004 4121 and 3935 1208 7422. It's going to be an all-family affair as it was in the beginning. How sweet it is for families to dwell together in one accord. Don't miss it. Powered by IPOB DOS. IPOB, one family.
All hail Biafra. IPOB,
one family. IPOB, forward ever. Brethren, it is that time. All members of IPOB family in Italy are requested to gather in Ferrara for the IPOB Italy first get-together. Venue, Via Mario, Paledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Chief host, Mazi Oda Keke Ugo, IPOB Italian National Coordinator. Special guest, Mazi Anthony Nzerumike, IPOB Deputy Head of Directorate. Mazi Isaiah Uba, IPOB Deputy European Rep, and other dignitaries. Father of the Day, Mazi Austin Abayim, IPOB European Representative. Mother of the Day, the one and only Lolo Uchechi Kanu, wife to the leader of IPOB. Make sure you be present there on time. Come with every of your questions and get this invitation to all IPOB families in Europe. The venue again, Via Mario, Paledri, 21 Ferrara, 44121 Italy. Date, March 29th, 2025. Time, 12 noon prompt. Please, let's all be time conscious as the get-together has been packaged accordingly. For more clarification, please contact +3935 1004 4121 and 3935 1208 7422. It's going to be an all-family affair as it was in the beginning. How sweet it is for families to dwell together in one accord. Don't miss it. Powered by IPOB DOS. IPOB, one family.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the KTH 910 a.m. interview of the week here on the Guadalupe Radio Network in North Texas. I'm Dave Palmer, and Cecil is running our board. Thank you for being a part of our audience and listening. I enjoy the topics that we talk about in this program. This particular program is being recorded on Wednesday, June 19th, which is significant because it's Juneteenth, and that is called National Independence Day. It is the ending of slavery in the U.S. That is what it commemorates. And we didn't plan it this way, but we are talking about a topic that is very related, not so much related to the United States, but to the country of Nigeria and to the Republic of Biafra. And if you are a regular listener of this program, you know that we've done several interviews about the situation in Biafra because we have friends here locally who are from Biafra, from Nigeria, And they really want to bring to our consciousness and our awareness what's going on there, because often we Americans are very focused on what's going on right here, and we don't really know what's going on in other parts of the world. And unfortunately, it's not reported a whole lot in the news either. So I welcome in studio 3 guests, principally our wonderful friend and often volunteer. In fact, she was here for our recent summer share-a-thon just last week, Augustina Madu Odedika. And also I have with me Charles Owuzie and also Chioma Marcel. And I hope I pronounced all those right. And so welcome to each of you. Thank you so much for being here. I know this is a very important topic, something that you all feel very passionate about, and I hope we can convey that to our listeners so that they can pray and support the effort as well. So let me start with you, Charles. And for those listening and maybe just learning about this for the first time, let's provide a bit of a history lesson starting mid-40s, 1940s, with the country of Nigeria, the region of Biafra. Can you give us a little bit of history from then to now, if you could, in a few minutes?
Yes. Thank you, Dave, and thank you, listeners, and thank you, Guadalupe Radio, for always being there for us. And today's appearance here is an act of providence. America is observing emancipation. And somewhere in West Africa, in Nigeria, to be precise, people are not free. A lot of oppression. Quickly to your question, sir. Biafra is located in Nigeria, within Nigerian territory. And Nigeria herself had her independence from Britain in 1960. But a little after the 1960, barely 6 years after the independence, there was crisis, which led to pogrom, which first of all started with a military coup, led to massacre of the southern Christian people. And this metamorphosed and pushed Biafrans into self-defense when it turned out to be a genocide and a jihad in disguise. So, but before 1960, what we have in Nigeria at the time were skirmishes here and there, especially in the north, that were targeted against the southerners, against the predominantly Christian Biafrans. But it was like, okay, yeah, you didn't belong here and you don't know what is happening. But when Nigeria became an independent nation, it dawned on everybody that, hey, this is what it is. It is a jihad. It is a genocide. We went through 30-month civil war, and from 1967 that ended in 1970. Unfortunately, from 1970 to this day, that genocide is still going on in Biafra land. It's systematic. You don't see it, but you feel it, and you know it's there. And people in Biafra region are scared. Everybody is frightened. We don't even have intellectuals speaking for us again after the death of one of our brothers who will dare the bull in the eye and tell them, look, what you are doing is wrong. So nobody is speaking, and it has generated and increased the pressure for Biafra to seek self-determination, so that rather than get us all killed, let us be on our own and stop the massacre of Biafran people.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us an idea, how many people are we talking about from, I guess, mid-60s or so when you said the trouble started? Here we are in 2024. We're talking about what is the population of Biafra, and how many people have lost their lives, approximately?
Between 1967 and 1970, you are looking at 5.8 million.
Wow.
Yes. And out of this number, a colossal number of 3-point-something million were Biafran children that died out of malnutrition, because Biafra was blockaded both land and sea. And I recall that in the process of that genocide, an American citizen here by the name of Bruce Mayrock burnt himself in front of a United Nations, and He said, no, if this cannot be happening to people, human beings like himself. And even Steve Jobs stopped going to church because of the Biafran massacre. So from that time till now, you're looking at about 10 million people because they are killing us systematically. The ones we know is the ones we talk about. And during that first war, the British Broadcasting Corporation never allowed the news of Biafra to get out the way it should. But today, to the glory of God, we have social media and we have a place like Guadalupe Radio. So once in a while, you give us opportunity to come and let the world know what we are going through. And we are eternally grateful. So.
Yeah, thank you for that. That synopsis of the history. That makes it a lot more clear. Augustina, if I may ask you, we talk about the North being primarily Muslim, the South being primarily Christian, but then you also have this region of Biafra. So, well, how is Biafra different from the rest of the South? If we simplify it and say Muslim North, Christian South, well, what's unique about Biafra itself?
Biafrans are Igbo Christian people, and we reside mostly in the southeast region of Nigeria now. Okay. So the west part are the Yoruba people, and Yoruba people is a different nation. Biafra nation is different. Oduduwa nation, that's what they call the Yoruba people. But then we are separate and different from the northern region that are mostly Arewa region, and they are mostly Hausas, Thieves, and other ethnic groups. The Fulanis, who are the jihadists and the terrorists, are actually not indigenous to the space we call Nigeria today. They came from the Sahel and they took over the northern part of Nigeria, and they have been killing, systematically taking over the northern part of Nigeria, and they have made the northern part of Nigeria Muslims. They have converted all of the northern part of Nigeria into Muslim nation now, and they continue to recruit those people who now live in the northern part of Nigeria to continue the genocide. But who they are after usually are the Christians, and the Christians live in the south. The Yoruba people are Christians, the Igbo people are the Biafran people, who are in the east are Christians. So now that they have Fulanized and Islamized the northern part of Nigeria completely, they are now pushing southwards, and they have been doing it for many years. The genocide against the Igbo and Biafran Christians is real. And sometimes we think these things are made up stories. It is quite real, because I'm coming back from Biafra Nation. Just came back about 3 weeks ago. I went there to visit with my relatives and my friends, and Christians are today, even as we speak, being killed. Now what they have done is that they have exported the state actors who are military. The Nigerian military has bought into the Fulani Islamization of Nigeria. And why do they do that? Because the people who are leading Nigeria are all Muslims. The president of Nigeria is a Muslim. The vice president of Nigeria is a Muslim. They have always insisted that Muslims and the Fulani people rule Nigeria. And this is made possible, I think, by some of the Western powers. And Britain is who we lay this at their feet, because they colonized Nigeria. And when they left Nigeria, they gave the power to the Fulanis, who they thought would do their bid. And what they wanted is just the resources from that region of the world. And the Fulanis will give them the resources of Nigeria. The other nations contending Nigeria were not able to promise them that, so they gave power to the Fulanis. The Fulanis have now Islamized the northern part, and now they want to take over all of Nigeria. So everything that is happening to the Igbos is stemming from the fact that in the land of Biafra is where oil and gas deposits in Nigeria is. And because our region contains the oil and the gas, Biafra land is under siege because Nigeria needs it to be Nigeria. If there is no oil and gas in Biafra nation, there is no Nigeria. You wouldn't even hear about Nigeria. Nigeria would just be one of the African countries that you don't hear about. So what we are alleging and what is actually playing out in our lives is that we are very, very poor right now, even though we have the most resource in Nigeria. The oil and gas come from our land. But the British government supports Nigeria to continue to get the oil and gas to subjugate and suppress Biafra nation so that they can hold us. They're actually holding us hostage so that we can continue to be there to supply their milk, supply the oil and gas that makes Nigeria go.
So the natural resources are in that part of the country.
And that is why they're
Southeast.
holding us, yes.
Well, thank you. I want to come back and hear more about your time there, because I know you spent a number of weeks in Biafra recently, but I want to bring Chioma into the conversation. And what would you like to contribute as far as your take, or maybe what you hear from people that are there? Do you have relatives there? And what do you think our listeners should know about the situation there?
Thank you very much, Dave. Thanks for bringing us back again. Actually, we do hear a lot that is going on. And with what my sister just mentioned, that Biafra land is under siege because of the resources. Currently, Biafra should be the most peaceful area in Nigeria. But the government of Nigeria don't want it to be so. We have peace-loving people in Biafra land, but Nigerian government doesn't want it to be so. So currently, as we are speaking, on the 30th of May, like my brother said, the government sent down about 10,000 military troops to Biafra land. And when you come into Biafra land now, with people's reports, every pole is mounted either by Nigerian military, a kind of checkpoint. If it's not Nigerian military, it's the naval people on the road, is the police, is the DSS, that's the civil secret service department. They are all every pole in Biafra land, and this is not obtainable in every other part. Is not, you can't get it in any other part of Nigeria. It's only in the Biafra land. And harassing people are being harassed every day. You go into work, you're gonna come down from your car, like the latest report we got. You come out from your car, walk past the military checkpoint, raising your hands up. Then they're not even searching the cars. If they're looking for something, they should be able to check the cars, but no, they just want to humiliate people. And they're going to extort money from them. And when you're not able to extort the money, they take you to their station. And we've had a whole lot of dehumanization treatments on our youths. Mostly they're picking the youths. If they see any mark on you, like, tattoo is a common thing in America here. But they see a tattoo on you, oh, you're a criminal. They take you into the either to their dungeon, wherever they want to keep you. Some of them, they do kill them. And you don't even hear anything about your family member. You don't know whether he got to work, or you know that he didn't come back that day. And you don't even know where to look for the person, because you don't know if he was, I won't call it arrest. You don't know if the person was abducted by the military or the DSS or the police. So you don't even know to look for your loved one for. So these are a kind of events that's going on in Biafra land. And now they are pushing down to establish their Ruga in every community, not just in Biafra land, other parts of the South. And when they call that the Ruga, they call it like a kind of community for the Fulanis. And these are bloodthirsty human beings. Like an example of that, one of our ex-governors did give them, establish that for them just to get them in, thinking they were nice people. But what did they turn that area to? They turned it into shallow graves. Because they kidnap, they kill people, they bury them carelessly, and the newest governor, they bumped into that place and they saw thousands and thousands of skeletons of people who are a whole lot of evil going on there. So that place was sealed. It's sealed for now until they find out what happened. How did these people get killed? What happened? How did they get to those areas? So these are the atrocities that is going on with the whole police and the military checkpoints. They say, they are coming for security, but it's not for security. They're actually the people bringing in security to the southeast because they know it's supposed to be it's actually a peaceful area, but they don't want it that way. They want us to be maybe having all these disturbances, distractions. Why, like my sister said, British government is extorting the oil in our backyards because the Biafrans are like, we don't want to continue with this. We are tired of being dehumanized. We are tired of being killed. We are tired of being extorted, money being taken off from us every time. The government, there is no government, there's nothing to show government presence in Biafra land. No road is built, no hospital, no good hospital, no amenities anywhere. But you come in, send your military, they're extorting money from our people. They go to the last time after the 30th of May, when we try to remember our dead ones in Aba. Now we're hearing some markets are shut down. So how do you want those people to live life? How do you want them to? They can't go back to the market, and the military is telling them until they pay them 2 million naira. Is it 200 million or 2 million naira that they are asking from the marketers to pay before they will be able to go back to their shops? Yeah. And how do you expect those people to live? So these are some reports we are getting from back home, and it's just so heartbreaking. Yeah. And we feel so bad that the world is not coming in. Actually, I know some of them that are listening, that are hearing what is going on. We don't know why they are not being able to react to it. Like my sister said, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who is still incarcerated in their dungeon, is a British citizen.
But they're not doing anything. Britain
is not doing anything about it.
Well, thank you for that report. It sounds like it's very dire there. Let me ask Charles a question, then I'm going to come back to Augustina for her, her own report, having been there recently. You all are all Catholics, and we talk about the Christians in the South. First quick question is, are there Protestants there? Are the Christians all Catholics? Are there both? And also, what is the church doing as far as the organized Catholic Church? Is the church trying to make a difference there? Charles, can you mention that?
Sure. There are other denominations or church tradition, but predominantly you find Catholic and Anglican communion competing. Then there are also Pentecostal, evangelicals. They are all in that place. And for some time, we had hoped that with the people we have in the Vatican, because we have our brother, who is Cardinal Arinze, in the Vatican, that they should be speaking up about these things. If they do, we are not seeing the sign. We are kind of left. And the other church traditions, they talk, but they are not effective. Some of the big churches are in the West, and today in Nigeria, somebody from the West is the president. So rather than speak truth to power, they pamper him even when Nigerians are eating from the dustbin, even when people are being killed, nobody pays attention to them. Yes, but let me make this little point. Nigeria today should be at war with terrorists, Boko Haram and ISIS in the north. Last week, they came into a village and beheaded over 500 people. The terrorists come and hold meetings with natives and tax them, mount their flag. But Nigerian army is not going after them. But they are in the south, in Biafra land, extorting money from people, harassing our youth. Most of our youth now, they're all in hiding. They run away because you see a young man, you know the way they dress. They can wear tattered jeans or something like that. They say, hey, you are a future Biafran army. They will just pick him up. If that one is not lucky, that will be the end of his life. So that is what they are doing to our people. The churches, I don't think they are doing enough. They feel intimidated. The former president was there for 8 good years and he never stopped. As I'm talking to listeners, Nigeria has not prosecuted one Fulani terrorist. Not one. One of them who was arrested and detained for only 3 months. The government set him free and discharged and acquitted him. He's now working and dining with them. Yeah. So this is the situation.
Sounds like there's like nowhere to turn because the government's not helping, the church is not intervening.
Yes, this is the church is afraid.
Yeah.
This is the burden we are bearing today in that location of the world.
Yeah, thank you, Charles. We just have a few minutes remaining, and I want to close out with you, Augustina, with your I call it boots on the ground. You're there. You recently were there for a number of weeks. So what did you see? Can you tell us what the situation is right now, firsthand?
One of the things that we must announce to the world is that Nigeria is not interested in fighting terrorism. That should be clear in everybody's mind.
The government.
In fact, they can tell the rest of the world, oh, we want Boko Haram to stop. We want ISWAP to stop. We want ISIS to stop. No, the Nigerian government is not interested in any way because just like Charles said, they are not fighting Boko Haram in the north. They are not going where they are killing people. They are not going where they are sacking villages in the north. They send them to the south. So we know that this is a systematic genocidal agenda that Nigeria has against our people. They want to exterminate Biafran Christians. They're also killing the Oduduwa Christians, but they want to especially kill the Biafran Christians because we're sitting on their gold, oil, and gas. And it shows in the ways that they deal with us. Sister Chioma mentioned the military checkpoints it's not even a mile, every half a mile that you travel. And I witnessed this because I traveled by road. When I got to Iguacha, which they call Port Harcourt, after we disembarked from the plane, I traveled by road from Iguacha to Owerri, which should take about maybe 45 minutes. It took us over 2 hours because they stopped us at every checkpoint to ask the driver, where is your particulars? You have your driver license, but where is the papers for the car that you're driving? You must show us evidence that it is your car. They harass every traveler. Can you imagine this? Every car on the road, every truck on the road will be stopped to be harassed in this manner all the way to wherever you're going, all over Biafra land. Like my sister mentioned, it is not so in the north. It is not so in the west. They only come to our place to do this because there is a systematic subjugation going on. So what are we asking? Wonderful
what can our listeners do?
That's exactly where I am going. We want you to help us to appeal to the United States government to change their policy, their basic policy towards Nigeria. Nigeria is killing Christians. And we remember there was a time when they had in the books that they put Nigeria on the list of where Christians are being harassed. Since Blinken came into his office, he took Nigeria's name out of that list. We want Nigeria's name placed back on one of the countries where Christians or being oppressed. And we want Christians in this country to please help us do that. But not only that, pray for the people of Biafra, because our villages are sacked daily. Our youths are being killed daily. They take us to prison without any question. Any one of those motorists can be taken to a jail.
And how can, is there a website or something that people can visit?
There is a website. You can go to www.ipob.org. We even have a donation link to fight to make sure that the nation of Biafra is restored. And of course, pray for us always. And we can conclude with a prayer.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much. Let's say together, great Christians out there, Christian people, like we say in the Catholic Church, save us, Savior of the world. For by your cross and resurrection, you have set us free. And that's all Biafra Nation is asking for. Freedom from this contraption called Nigeria. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That website again, ipob.org, IP as in people, OB as in Biafra.org. And thank you very much to all three of you for being here. Thanks, Sissel, for running the board. And like they said, please pray that the situation which has been described today is so dire can finally come to an end, and how appropriate that we're doing this on the day when we celebrate the end of slavery here in this country, in the United States, on Juneteenth. So thank you. Very appropriate that we do this today. This has been the KTH 910 AM Interview of the Week here on the Guadalupe Radio Network. God bless you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Welcome to IPOB Rapture Media. IPOB press release the 10th of June, 2024. Southeast governors should cancel all power contracts with EEDC. The global family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, ably led by the great and indefatigable leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, calls on the governors in the Southeast to cancel all power contracts with Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, EEDC, for being an impediment to the development of the region. EEDC has proven to be incapable of providing reliable, adequate, and affordable electricity to support economic stimulation and growth of the Southeast. The company is just extorting money from the people of the Southeast without providing reliable electricity. The Southeast governors should leverage the electricity deregulation policy of Tinubu's government and engage other local or foreign electricity generation and distribution companies to take the place of the incompetent company called EEDC. The current electricity deregulation policy of the federal government of Nigeria has given powers to the state government to generate and distribute power to their state. Therefore, Southeast governors must not subject the eastern region to darkness in order to please the insatiably greedy company called EEDC and its owner. Electricity is a catalyst for economic development and growth, which Ndigbo must not be denied at a time like this. Southeast governors have no excuse for not providing reliable and efficient electricity in their states. The time of giving excuses with the monopoly of NEPA, PHCN, or EEDC is over. Now the federal government electricity deregulation has given them the power to hire and fire any electricity company in their state. Eastern region governors can come together and partner with a reputable power company that can provide steady and affordable electricity for the entire region. The governors must ensure that there is adequate electricity in the region without further delay. Our attention has been drawn to the unconfirmed letter written to the Southeast governors, universities, institutions, companies, and communities by EEDC to these people and groups mentioned above to come and pay what they did not consume, and failure to do so, EEDC will shut off their lights. We beg EEDC to jettison such idea because we don't want to use force on them, and if they want to test the power IPOB possesses, we will let them taste the venom. If they venture to cut any lights in the Southeast this time around, we will react because we have endured enough. The citizens of the Southeast are charged to deal with anyone seen as EEDC representatives anywhere in our land who try to shut off people's lights. They must be lynched and they must call any IPOB office close to you with the information. EEDC is a big disappointment to the people of the Southeast region. They are not showing any sign of repentance or improvement in the electricity distribution, and they failed to provide prepaid meters across the Southeast region. Their extortion and incompetency should not be endured any longer. IPOB wants the governors not to allow EEDC to use another company to come back and deceive them and try to take another contract because EEDC has failed and cannot handle the electricity distribution in the Southeast region. Period. IPOB wants the governors to take responsibility for providing steady light in the Southeast region. The development and progress of the Southeast is dependent on these conditions. They should stop every unnecessary excuse. IPOB and Indigbo in general have lost confidence in EEDC. Our people must be prepared to chase EEDC out of the region. IPOB is not backing down on plans of ejecting the rogue company called EEDC from the region. The Southeastern governors must wake up and demonstrate their willingness to drive economic development of the East via the provision of steady and affordable electricity by canceling all power deals with incompetent and extortionist Enugu Electricity Distribution Company, EEDC, Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for IPOB. Please don't forget to support the ESN at www.ipob.org.
Subsidy. And suddenly, if P2B want to participate, I don't think P2B, there is anything wrong because he's an opposition party in Nigeria. So if P2B decided to participate in a protest, I don't think there is any crime holding him. But IPOB, they know the capacity of IPOB. They know what we can do. That is why you see them shouting, IPOB is planning protests. They are doing it so for us to say, oh, we don't want to be involved. No, we have passed this stage. We don't reason with our feelings. We are reasoning with our mind. Do you understand me? We are strategic. We understand their game. We understand everything they are playing. Now, the reasons IPOB will not participate in this protest a lot. Number one, in 2020, when the protest happened in Nigeria, the NSAS protest, it started in Lagos. Many people killed in Lagos were Igbo people who helped and championed that protest. Nobody talk about them till today. But where they killed most of the people that participated in end protest is in Iguacha. It is the end SARS protest that led to the massacre in Obibo. Because they say it is during that end SARS protest that people burnt a police station. Because of that, Wike unleashed that mayhem in Obibo. A lot of people were killed. In Abia State, many people were killed. In Enugu, we know many people that died during that NSAS protest. But when you see them, they talk about NSAS protest, it looks like it ended only in Lagos. And that's a complete lie. Now, secondly, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was still walking free, he encouraged the Nigerian youths to partake, to speak up. Yes, he encouraged them to participate in the protest because they have to speak up. But at the end of the day, you see that the Tinubu, they said he's the one, the Yorubas turned it that we are the ones, or Nnamdi Kanu is the one that instigated people to burn Tinubu hotels, to burn. Do you understand me? Because in Nigeria, it's always a tribal politics. Nigerians don't play. Forget about all these things they are doing. You see them. That is why you see down in the north, you see the Muslim, you see Sheikh Gumi presently mobilizing the Muslims, the Alamajiris. He's telling them that protest against a bad government is not haram. That everybody, they can protest. It is a signal he's giving to the Alamajiris. This is the Muslim, that means he has been gotten from the Muslim converts. Now, you come to the Yoruba side, they are telling you it is P2B. You know, our people are supposed to know what happened to them in Lagos during the voting period. They are telling you it's P2B. Now they turn out, because the IPOB is in control of the Southeast region, they now start putting a blame on IPOB, on IPOB, on IPOB. But I'm still making it very clear, we are not stepping backward from the protest because they are saying IPOB. No, because they are thinking those things will push us. No. In this particular context, IPOB will act as the hyena. We won't kill, but we will wait for people to kill so we can grab the meat. That is our position. And we are watching everything step they take. Any move they will make, That is why I said from the beginning that anything that will lead to the destruction of Nigeria is highly welcome. We welcome it. Am I still coming out very clearly? I'm seeing some noise from the
Please, who
background,
is?
Mazi.
Yeah, there is a noise on the background. Please, can somebody please mute?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mazi, go
Okay. Okay. So at the end of the day, in this particular protest, Biafrans will act, IPOB will act and play the role of a hyena, waiting for the lion, the tiger, and the leopards to kill. When they kill, we go to grab. That is our position on this protest. I'm saying it, Biafrans should make sure that they do not participate. And let me tell you, there is an intelligent report available. That is why also I'm saying these things this evening. There is an intelligent report that they want to use this opportunity. If you are an Igbo, you are living in the north, you are living in the west. If they are doing their protest, I will advise you to stay in your house. Do not say, let me go. It doesn't concern me that IPOB said we should not participate, that we should go and do what? Do our business. Do not do that. I will advise every Biafran, every Igbo man, everybody from the southeastern region, living in the northern part of Nigeria, living in Lagos, do not say on your own, the protests do not concern me, let me go to my business. Be assured they will use that opportunity. They might kill you. They might destroy your shops. So it's better. That's why I'm saying move out your valuable things by tomorrow, even this night. If you have valuable things in your shop, move it because you are the target. They will use this opportunity to eliminate many Igbo businessmen if this protest goes out of hand. And finally, on this particular topic, Mazi, this protest, which they call the hunger protest, I want Biafrans to look at it from a different perspective. You know, the problems facing the regions are not the same. The problem facing the northerners is not the same problem facing us at the present. Our need is different from what they need. Even in the West, what we want is totally different. Our major problem now is grant Biafrans a referendum, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from illegal detention. For them, they are talking about hunger. They are talking about hunger in the north. They're talking about hunger in the west. I don't mean that things are easy for us, but every region have their priority. For now, our priority is not about hunger. At early this year, IPOB knows what is going to happen. They knows the plan. We encourage our people go into farming. And I use this opportunity. There are many people who head to that clarion call. We see some, even though we might not be on the same page, but we see some governors who participated in that, like from Bayelsa, Abia, Enugu, and Anambra. They participated in agricultural project this year. This is recommendable. In the next month, people will start harvesting new yams. They will start harvesting a lot of things. There will be availability of food. Now, in the West, it doesn't mean they do not plant. But what we think, our analysis is that, you see, the Western world want to push in the agricultural produce, the GMO. You know they have signed it. Now, how do you think they will implement it? They can sign it. It's normal. They can sign the implementation of the GMO, but they can sign the agreement with the Tinubu government. Then they will move to this next stage. What is the next stage? They must mobilize people to shout about hunger. Hunger. They will unleash protest. The protest Nigerians are doing is for hunger. Hunger. And when they are shouting hunger, remember, that is their purpose. Hunger. Hunger. As they are shouting for hunger, what the Western world will do, those who want to introduce GMO produce in Nigeria, what they will do is they will say, hey, Tinubu, come, they are shouting about hunger. We have the remedy. They say, how can you solve this problem? They say, we have GMO fruit, GMO seedlings. We can plant it in 2 months. There will be food all over Nigeria. Mazi, that is the way to introduce the GMO. Do not be surprised that the hunger protest Nigerians are talking about, the hunger protest, it have an undertone. There is a little voice behind it. There are people behind this voice. And this voice is also, do not neglect the Western powers, because they will use it to push in the GMO products into Nigeria. They will tell the government, your people are shouting out for hunger. Your people are shouting they do not have food, but we want to help you. And how do we help you? It is only the GMO we can plant today and harvest after 1 month. We can plant today and harvest, and then automatically they will accept. All these things are games and tactics government use. You see them, they have signed, but they don't know. Even if Tinubu refused to implement it, they kick him out and find somebody who will make the implementation. That is how these people work. That is why we said our problem is not hunger. Our problem is not anything to do with hunger. Yes, we are hungry. People are hungry. But that is not our priority. It's not the priority of Biafrans right now. So that's why we say everybody must be very, very careful. Do not participate in the Nigerian protest. The leadership is on a look, and we advise every Biafran, all IPOB media warriors. I think you will get the circular this night or tomorrow. From the night of 31st, everybody will be on standby for analysis, for able to communicate to our people, because you will be getting instructions on how we have to tackle. If you are in Lagos, you are in the north, you still have time. You can leave Lagos tomorrow. Come back to the east. It is very, very necessary, because these hunger protests have a different underground hands that are pushing it. Pushing it for introduction of GMO, pushing it to make sure IPOB is tagged. They are looking for every means. For 3 years, they have looked for many means to demonize IPOB, tarnish the image of IPOB, especially to the international community. So I am talking about IPOB, the Igbos not to participate. I am talking about, if you are talking about P2B, I feel P2B have right as a Nigerian, as a political opposition, if he decides to protest, unless he's afraid that maybe people will say that they will, but he's an opposition. He has right. He's a Nigerian citizen. He's a former presidential aspirant of the Labour Party. He has right to protest in Nigeria. Nobody should intimidate him. Nobody should harass him if he wants to protest. If he wants to call for protest, I don't think that anybody have the reason or any gut to stop him from protesting. But in all, if the protest goes as those behind it is planning it, I bet you Biafrans will benefit from it. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much, Mazi Chinasa. That is quite a long rendition there, and interesting explanations have been made, and I believe that our people are paying attention to some of these explanations. And it's also very, very important that our people follow this program, because a lot of issues will be discussed. We'll also be discussing about the said negotiation proposal of for the release of Mazi Nnamdi. All these issues will be coming up subsequently. I want to urge Biafrans to share this program. Please share this program. Tag your friends and make sure that everybody joins. As we are speaking, we get information that IPOB Community Radio is down at the moment, the application. And for now, everybody have to go on Biafra television channel if you haven't liked the channel, go and like it, go and follow it, so that you'll be able to get notification each time our program is coming up. Wanda, is there any other question you have for Mazi Chinasa Nworu before I proceed?
Let me throw one more question before you go ahead. Mazi Chinasa Nworu, the question I want to ask is this. I believe that at this very critical stage that Nigerians are confused if Nigeria is a democratic country or actually a military regime. because we see the army at random issuing press statements at will. In this very protest, they've issued a press statement that people should not protest, that the protest may be hijacked by hoodlums, this, that. Just like they did one of recent concerning our HOD when army just woke up and declared him wanted. In a democratic setting, do the army suppose to be issuing press statements at will or anytime they wish?
Thank you, Wada. Everybody we know the manner in which the Nigerian army conducts itself and its activities. Presently, I will tell you, for them declaring Mazi Chinasa wanted, presently IPOB is in court with the Nigerian military. And the 2 times the court have sat, they refuse to show up in the court. Presently, I think we made a press release during that time, and we told them we are going to court for them to come and prove why they declared Chike Doziem the head of the indigenous people of Biafra Directorate of State. We sued them to court in the Nigerian Federal High Court, and the two sittings, the Nigerian military have not attended that court proceedings. And I think another court proceeding will be coming, I think, after the judiciary recess, their holiday. So, sabbatical, their sabbatical leave. I think after that, I think we'll get another date. But I can tell you, the Nigerian military, they have their, they have their Armed Forces Act. There are many civil offenses the Nigerian military is committing against civilians in Nigeria, especially against Biafra, from burglary to extortion to robbery to arson to beyond harassment. There are a lot of them. I think we will come to that later on. But one thing you have to know, the handwriting or the hands of former military generals are still ruling Nigeria. That thing is what you have to know. So we can't automatically say Nigeria is in a democratic government. Just democracy by mouth. Because if you look at those who still control the politics, if you look at the northern oligarchy, there are still the military presidents. There are still powerful military army generals who are still at the background of most of these things that are happening. And as a country that is full of corruption, they themselves also have sold their integrity. They work with criminals. You heard about a military officer, I think one of the Nigerian personalities was on radio, is it on channel television, talking about how a former military defense chief or Aziza, stole over 60-something billion. And the money was, it was siphoned out of Nigeria and the money was packed in a USA bank. There is nowhere the Nigerian government or the Nigerian leadership or their so-called democracy have never been accepted. You ask yourself, what kind of democracy are they practicing? For me, I believe there are countries. Democracy should not be the Western type of democracy, which is being imposed in Nigeria. Those who are imposing those democracy, in their own country, they try their best to carry out democracy in a very plain way where the public and the people will participate. But what they sold to us is totally different. I live in an Arab country where development is going on in a very high rate. You can say they do not have democracy, but they have good life. You go to China, they used to criticize China. They call it a communist state. They do not have, but their life, they have developed far better than many countries in Europe that are practicing democracy. You come to Libya, when Gaddafi was there, are Libyans not living better? I do not agree that democracy is a tool for a better development or to make the life of people living. So in Nigeria, anything that is sold in Nigeria, you know it is designed for the interest of the Western power. You know, for a very long time, we say UK, British government. British government is getting tired where we are, and it is the American government that have took over all these things. So what democracy are you talking about? Democracy that they somebody that have a criminal record, somebody that they say they convicted in their own court, they decided to still approve him as the president of Nigeria. Somebody they spoke about, he have fake certificates. Somebody they said there was all kind of reports against him. But still, in their own country, they won't accept that. But in our own, they impose it. Did you see how Labour won in the UK government, the democracy? Did you see members of the parliament? Did you see how young? None of them is above 33 years. But look at the people, they say they are doing democracy for us. The people that goes to the Senate, House of Representatives, even some of them that are up to 70 years, they still answer youth. They will still give them the position of youth. How many people? So I don't see Nigeria. We can't even, do you understand me, classify Nigeria as a country that practices democracy. The democracy being practiced in Nigeria is just on lips. It's just a lips democracy. Because if you check the way they conduct their elections, it's full of rigging, thuggery, killing, snatching of ballot boxes. Do you understand me? Fake results, announcement of those who did not even participate in the election. We saw, everybody thought, that was why Peter Obi was kicked out, because he's coming, as a gentleman. It doesn't work. In Nigeria, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. If it is democracy, Tinubu cannot come out and tell you, this is my turn. You saw what the daughter is saying. He said, this is my father's turn. Nobody should protest. He still have 3 years. Nobody should do anything. Is this democracy? So trying to discuss about democracy in Nigeria is something, discussing something that people won't even understand. Only the Western world knows what they are playing in Nigeria. They sold something they called democracy for Africa, especially in Nigeria. Their democracy is to help them to exploit us, to steal our resources, control our human resources. I mean, everything. There is nothing. Nigeria cannot be proud of anything. They are proud of nothing. So I don't see us talking the military. The military can never. They cannot. Look at what they used to do. Look at their activities in Biafra land. Look at their extrajudicial killings in Biafra land. People are being...
Mazi, I think we have to come to that gradually, because we'll be giving that specific topic the required attention that is needed. But in my own contribution, I would say that the problem is not the democracy itself. The problem is when you put a democracy on a foundation that is faulty, you can never get any result. So no kind of government will be introduced in Nigeria that is going to work, because the Nigerian foundation is faulty, and you cannot put anything on something and you expect it to stand. So even if you bring in the best system of government in Nigeria, it is not going to work, because the constitution of Nigeria itself as a people, the way the formation and the amalgamation itself has a question to answer, and that is the reason we are where we are today. So it's not a question of democracy, communism, whatever system you introduce.
Mazi, I will tell you it is. You know why I differ? Because That is the terminology used to build all this false foundation. They told our people, we have something called democracy where everybody will participate equally. And the British rigged the first election that they introduced. So they know what democracy, they know how it can be manipulated. So democracy they sold for us, just like the kind of religion they sold to us, is totally different from the content or the context of that democracy. Let me tell you, the Western world can never give us something that will make Africa to grow. That is why they have a problem with China. Do you understand me? Couple of weeks back, I think it's DW, one of the distant said, hey, what is Russia doing for your country? They are now number one export of gold. You know, I went to their page and I commented. I think they deleted it because I asked them for over 3 decades, for 30 years, who are those on top of the export of gold, natural resources from Africa? They have been there. Just maybe Russia have never been even come to the top 10 exporters. But the moment maybe this year that Russia have become a top exporter, you see how they twist, and people with feeble minds will say, oh, Russia have done this. Man, whatever they sold to us, the democracy they sold to us, it is not helping our people. I'm telling you, I have seen countries where monarchs are ruling and the people are living better. Go to Brunei, come to Kuwait, to Saudi Arabia, UAE. They may have their parliament, and those parliament, the monarch can, the emir or the sheikh can dissolve it anytime they want, for those. But bringing mostly criminals, manipulators, as people who are representing people, I don't think we can get it right.
Yes, so that is the basis to this discussion, because when you talk about democracy in the context of the Nigerian setting, the question is Nigeria put together to function and succeed in a democratic
Exactly.
So when we talk about democracy in Nigeria, we should be looking at the foundation of the contraption itself. Like I said earlier, you cannot build anything on a faulty foundation and you expect it to stand. And I think that is the number one issue that should be addressed, the foundation, the formation of Nigeria as a country. And that is why we are all here gathered today. And that is why we've been all these years questioning the basis to the formation of Nigeria.
Before we go far, there was a question Nwada Jovita asked. He said, the military, the security, they are saying people should not protest. Let me tell you, every Biafran listen very well. The DSS have already formed WhatsApp groups. Everybody has to be very careful. The DSS, the military intelligence, NIA, the police intelligence, they have been asked to form WhatsApp groups, say is to end hunger protest. Do you understand me? And they are encouraging people who are supporting this protest to join. That is, this is where they will communicate. Now, if you look at what they are planning, they are not planning for the protest to succeed. The protest will fail because they are putting up their machineries to divide the youth. They are putting up the missionaries to use religious issues to divide the protest. They are using tribalism to divide the protest. But that is not our problem. Our problem is the security output or the security apparatus in Nigeria. They can never respect human rights. They can never respect anybody's, even if you're a politician in their midst, if the order is given to bring you down, they will bring you down. Because all the work is for the interest of those that owns the country. Everybody knows those who owns Nigeria. Everybody knows those who dictates what happened in Nigeria. So if they do not accept, I'm telling you, people will be killed. People will be, and it's unfortunate the way they operated this protest. I have never seen any country where it's taking them months. They put up a flyer, we're organizing, they inform them. And the people are negotiating. Some people are also negotiating with government to take money from them. That these people, do you understanding me? Some people contacted IPOB. Oh, we want this protest. How is it happening? So that we see if how to talk. We said, get away from here. We don't talk about protest. Some people are using also the name of IPOB, threatening the government to collect money from them. That IPOB will join the protest, you need to settle them. That is one thing that you found in Nigeria. They play all this game. They play all these things. Don't be surprised why they are mentioning IPOB. Some criminal-minded people have been talking to some people. It's IPOB that is trying to ferment this trouble. We need to settle them. This has been a tactic they've been using. So all these things are things when you look at how Nigeria operates, you can't even classify them as a democratic government. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much, Mazi Nnamdi. Mazi Chinasa Nworu. You see, when I think, every time I have the thinking of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi, can always on my mind. And I hope that soon he will be free from detention. And from what I heard recently, that the infiltrators who are also trying to drag IPOB into the protest have made certain demands, including that some of the reasons for the protest is to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You see, so a way to make it look as if that the protest is an IPOB project. But that is by the way, because we understand the game and we are ahead of them. Mazi, let us take this question because it's very, very important. Since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's extraordinary rendition from Kenya, we have seen series of events and we have seen how things have moved back and forth and shakings here and there, both within and surroundings of IPOB, where we have also seen different activities that are contradictory to our values. Now, I want to ask, how have IPOB been able to survive, especially in the leadership, being able to manage some of these situations? I've asked you that question in few occasions, but I think I also want to ask you again. How have you been able to do it in the leadership to keep IPOB afloat?
Mazi, thank you very much. Mazi, this is a very, very, in one thing I love with IPOB, especially the present leadership, these are people that believe that it is better to walk than to make noise.
Okay, wait. Okay, Mazi Chinasa, before you proceed, I also want to let our people to know that we are live on IPOB Community Radio. That has been taken care of, fixed. And I think that Mazi Jonathan is live there, transmitting on BTV as well. We're also live. You can also download the BTV app and tune into CH1 where you can get our transmission. The IPOB community radio app has been taken care of, has been fixed. And for those of you who have the app on your phones and your Android can download. For those who haven't downloaded, you can also download the BTV application on your phone, on your Android and whatever phone you are using that has internet on it. So please go ahead and tune into IPOB Community Radio. You can join us from there. Mazi Chinasa Nworu, continue from where you stop, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. Thank you for that good news. I know it will be back. I know the IPOB radio will be back before the program will go far. Mazi, the question you ask is very, very interesting question. But what I can tell you is that the IPOB leadership, at least my fellow comrades I know, they believe more to do the work because we have a very difficult work in our hand. People do not understand how IPOB operates before now. before the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I'm saying it on radio, that when they rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leadership was shocked. The leadership did not even know where to pick up from, because there are certain things that we do not have information about them, which, if it is a system, I can tell you it is a flawed system. Whosoever that advised Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because I used to say it, when the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was moving around the whole world, preaching about Biafra, everywhere he's going, Biafrans was always ready to welcome him there and make sure he lives from that country peacefully, even when he came to Kuwait. But whoever and those who were behind, to isolate him from the IPOB leadership, push him until he fall into this trap. I'm sure Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wherever he is, he had known that maybe he had made a mistake. Because I bet you, had it been IPOB knew that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was being held in Kenya, I swear to God, we will never allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be renditioned. We will never allow it. But it has happened. That's to show you, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, we passed hell. Hell. I knew very well that when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, many IPOB officers could not get themselves, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I will tell you, one of our IPOB member, who is